something new I figured out.
What?
So if you stare at it, so you see how she looks zoomed in, and you bring it back, and everything's in focus. I can selectively make that line of focus.
Oh.
And I just feel like it draws you into whatever I want it to be.
Right.
Like,
you make whatever the focal point is. That's lit. Yeah. Yo, you can control that.
Bro.
That's dope. You can control whatever on Photoshop. Yeah, that's lit.
And then like this new thing I've been learning also is like, so I'll select her, select all of her.
See, the shit like this is gonna be so dope whenever I get to the point later on in the podcast when I'm have the ability to like maybe have some tech nerd or somebody else that's in here where that can plug this up to.
So we can just like watch
so people can see what we're talking about.
Like you could dead ass have like one episode where
the Joe Rogan podcast does that all the time. He has somebody shout out to the Joe Rogan podcast, by the way, before I even introduce what we are. Joe Rogan podcast is so lit. That nigga has somebody that looks up anything they're talking about, so they immediately can have that right there. And we can do that with phones too, like me and Carlton was scrolling through earlier. And anytime like he was talking about something, especially in that because it related to his creative shit, I want to be able to have that shown on the podcast and all that at the same time while you're seeing my drawing and all that. But
that's what's gonna be live. Cause
it's a process for sure, and that's why I got to get my own camera for that, another camera other than the GoPro and all that. But it's cool though. We in the process, and y'all just caught some insight on that. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Kyle, aka Track Star. What's good? We in the building. Finally, I can't count the episodes yet because I'm doing a whole bunch of them at the same time right now. So this is between like the first episode, second, third, something like that. But anyways,
we keep it moving, you know.
Yeah, hey, you gotta get.
Not gonna give up on the dream. We're
right,
still here.
Gotta keep them loaded in the chamber, shit. But you already know what it is. I'm gonna explain it just again. I'm gonna have some live art every every episode. We're gonna have something be made right in front of your eyes. That's gonna be the visual. Eventually, you're gonna be able to see us while we're talking too, but I'm making in the process. And I'm gonna have a guest every time, specifically a creative guest of some sort, somebody who has their own thing. And today we got one of my homies, one of my niggas, one of the first people I told about this podcast actually back when it was still in the conception, trying to think it out. My nigga Darren, aka Kameal, could be short for aka Chameleon, because this nigga's out here, got hella styles. Doing a whole bunch of shit. Last time he was here, we was talking about his drawings. We're gonna get back into that. A whole bunch of stuff. But right now he's putting me up on some photo editing shit. I've never seen somebody just whip up. I've never seen anybody edit their photo. I've never watched anybody.
Yeah, no, it's like it's the dream, bro. I just brought it in here, you know, that's all we do when we connect. We just stay creative, you know, keep the juices flowing. I'm doing a little bit of editing right now. You know, Kyle was in here drawing right before I got here, but it's good to be back. Good to start on this podcast, start the real dream going.
Yeah, we're gonna have hella episodes. I know there's gonna be many where you come back. Those are gonna be dope when we have the reoccurring episodes when we come back. But we're talking about the future anyways for right now. Last time me and you talked, we talked about some of your like first art memories, and I thought that shit was hella ill. We definitely gotta get that back on. And you talked about something that your teacher started when I forgot how old was you when your teacher did this project that they had you on?
I was in probably 7th grade. Yeah, I think 7th grade. And all we used to do, we'd write in class. And the funny thing is, I talked to a girl at work about something like that. Mm-hmm. And she said her teacher used to make them do the exact same thing.
That's dope.
So I just thought that was really cool. Actually.
That's dope. That's hella dope. What class? Was it a lit class? Or?
Yeah, it was a lit class. And I'm sorry, I didn't even explain it. So we would write short stories every day in that class. And I think that was like, you know, I had felt creative right before then and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think writing those short stories, that was like one of the first times where I realized like artistically, I'm trying to do something like that, whether it's writing or drawing or, and I'm young right now, so I didn't know what I wanted to do. It was writing, drawing, taking pictures, making movies, something like that. I knew that I wanted to do it. So I just shout out to her, Miss Burns, 7th grade class. I mean, stuff like that, man, it's good. It's good. Teachers need to continue doing stuff like that. It's really good for students.
Real talk, yeah. Because granted, I was a little shithead, so I was rebellious, most definitely. But I didn't really connect with any of my art teachers until college. Like me and my high school teacher, we had a little connection, but I was such a rebel, so I probably pushed away any chances of even having that connection because we just clashed, and that's cool. But she still taught me some things along the way, so that was dope. But I didn't really start connecting on a personal level, feeling like a friend or feeling like I had a art mentor until college. So that was cool, and I kind of take pride in the fact that I never had the mentor for hella long, and I just loved it so much that I just did it throughout childhood for the longest. And then when I finally started connecting in college, it was weird to be the kid that sometimes teachers would like love, and you just feel it. I'm showing up late to class and the teacher saying that he missed me. I'm like, oh shit, for real? I think I'm about to get chewed out. Saying he missed me and was thinking about me, and it was crazy. And with that, some of the teachers started pushing me. Some of the same teachers started pushing me harder later for that, and I appreciate that. But yeah, that's important, having them connections like that with teachers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I wasn't the best student. I was a class clown, that's for sure. Like, I was the guy always talking. And for whatever reason, that was just like a cool way to get my ideas out. So, I mean, even though she wasn't doing it specifically for me, I thank the fuck out of her for it. And I haven't seen her since, really. But it's just, I think it's great to get your brain working like that at a young age. And even thinking about that, I'm just going to make up a topic for today. How about the kids now? Like, we're going to have a generation of some extremely creative people. It's scary, to be honest. Like, these kids are growing up with YouTube right in their face. They're growing up with Instagram right in their face. So what I'm saying by that is, okay, when you and I are growing up, say we're in the 7th and 8th grade, the only way we were going to even see fine artwork or these great pictures were if we went straight to the source. We didn't really have the internet where we could just type in and know all these artists, or maybe we could read a book or something like that.
That's a good point. We had to go to a library or a museum.
And then now you have Instagram, where I could scroll on my phone, follow a guy, and I'm in tune with an artist.
Right.
And if you're a young kid, I mean, I could be 15 years old and I could be following all the greatest artists on Instagram right there.
Right.
And that's just, it's gonna shape and mold. And
even if that kid never meets any of those people, just between their captions, catching whatever jewels they can get out of those captions, watching them grow, you see some things that they do, emulate that, because that's all we do anyway, is see our masters and try and emulate what they do and just try and make it our own later. That's in any art creative form, really. But I never thought about that. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for them, but at the same time, it is a competition, and these kids got a head start on us. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. They got a head start, dude. I was thinking, I mean, even if you just specifically think about it from YouTube perspective, cameras are cheaper now than what they used to be. Anybody can start streaming on YouTube or things like that right now. So like that's cool. That's a cool little way to grow up, I guess. I feel like we're in a creative era, and it would have been awesome to have just been born in this, where everybody is creating. Everybody's creating. Whether they have a YouTube, an Instagram, an art page, a fucking what else is there? Tumblr, even Twitter. I mean, you know, there's people who are, you know, there's meme pages, you know, photoshopping. Like, bro, we live in an era of creation.
Yeah, for real.
And I'm not saying they're all necessarily artists. They're not all artists, because the majority of them just mimic. And, you know, we talked about that. I don't consider that art, but it's just, you know, it's not necessarily bad, but it's a lot of saturation in the art community right now, and it's refreshing. It keeps you on your toes. You got to compete right now, even in the small markets. You know, some people flee to the small markets and just try to take over those. You know, those people can see good work too. You're not gonna be able to trick anybody with bad photography. And
what you mean by compete though? Like in terms of, I think I know what you mean. But
I mean, it's loose. It's a loose term. I just mean that as an artist, for me, my main goal is to get my work out there,
being noticed.
So my main goal is to get my work out there, so people see it. You know, they can feel whatever they feel about it, and the money can either come or not come. But I just want my art to be appreciated, and by appreciation, they don't have to love it or anything, but just to say, yeah, that's there, and he makes art. Competition, I mean that. There's only so many spots that people can notice. There's only so much room in somebody's head for them to accept that person. You know, you only know so many artists because you only have so much time to worry about art. So with competition, you know, if there's an artist who might be making better work than you, maybe attacking a market more strategically than you are. It's just competition, bro. As an economist, there's this saying my teacher used to always say: the best product doesn't always get chosen.
Right.
And that's just the nature of the beast, bro. There's only so many spots.
I feel you. I don't know. Art is like one of the one things. The older I get, the more I'm not so competitive. But in some respects, I can be a highly, highly competitive person. But I discovered a few years ago with art, it's just like the one thing. I'm just like, nah, like I never felt this level of wanting to compete or even feeling like even people that do the same, even people that do portraits just like me, like I've never felt like in competition with them or any sort of rivalry of any sorts with anybody in art. And I discovered in a painting contest, I remember having a deep talk with one of my mentors who was taking care of me around that time. I was in Steelville, Missouri. Shout out to y'all and y'all's plein air contest. It's really, really dope. Dope artists from all over the world come from all over the world to this random small town in Missouri to make plein air paintings. Plein air meaning like they make it outside. They set up their easel and paint all that for the viewers like in a couple hours. Some do big ass paintings and take like 6-7 hours. I know a guy who stayed out for like 13 to paint this like mega painting. But anyways, I discovered at that competition, at that contest, I talked to one of my mentors and like, yo, look, I don't really care to compete with these guys. Like I'm not at this. I started seeing other artists like get frustrated when they lose or like upset because some of them justifiably so were doing that. That's their job to support their families. Some of them were doing some real shit and they're trying to live their dream, travel all over America, go from contest to contest. They got to make money so they can afford to do that and feed their fam. So this like, it's serious for them. And I respect the fuck out of that. But me personally, like it wasn't that deep for me. And it just felt wrong to even get in the competitive mode to try and whoop all their ass. As much as I could do that because I want to like win and do and be the best in almost everything I do. But in that mode, I just did not care. It was weird.
And I go through phases. I'll have a time where I just don't really care if I'm the best and I'm just really in tune with myself. And then I have phases where I'll kind of just like astro project and I'm just looking at everybody else. I'm looking at the world for what it is. And I'm saying to myself, like, you make great stuff, but, and it's, okay, so before I even say that, as I'm walking over here, I'm just thinking to myself like, damn, I just lost my train of thought right there.
Talking about competition and feeling the need to compete.
So I'm walking over here, I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's okay to take inspiration from other great artists. Now, taking inspiration from amateurs, and I don't use that in a bad way. I literally just mean not professional, not regarded as professional. Taking inspiration from amateurs, like on Instagram and stuff like that, that's something I don't necessarily do.
Right.
But I think it's okay to take inspiration from professionals and things like that. And when you take inspiration from somebody, there's a certain sense of humbling yourself that you have to do. You have to say that
it's healthy.
Yeah, I'm taking it's not a little bit of something. Maybe it's not even a picture. Maybe it's just I don't know the mood of a picture or something. You have to humble yourself and say, I like that. This is good. I would love to incorporate that into myself.
Oh, you're talking actual inspiration, like physically, and applying it to the
or just So then with that competition thing, that's a sense of competition. I would like for somebody to look at me and be like, you inspire me in a positive way. And in that sense, in that very act of saying you inspire me, that's a level of competition. It's I want to be the most inspirational artist, and by inspirational, just be that guy that's that pioneer in a certain lane for some reason. And it's not that it's this sense of cockiness or something like that, but I'm doing this because I think I'm good at it. I'm doing this because I fucking love it. It's fun every single day, but I don't want to get complacent. And to not get complacent, I think you have to stay hungry. And the only way you can be hungry is if you devouring something. I'm trying to eat everybody. I'm trying to eat all of them, bro. And at the same time, like I said, there's some days where I just I'm just zoned into myself. I'm just like, I'm gonna put this picture out just because I love it.
Right.
And I also respect the fuck out of that. I used to, and I was thinking about it today. I want to get back to like I haven't posted any street shots in forever. And street is like my main love of photography. Like I love street photography where it's just, it's not a model posing for a pic or nothing like that. It's just you and the camera and you just make art. But kind of went on a tangent, I think.
Nah, you good. It's deep. Nah, it's a lot of like really, really deep shit. Like I feel you on the. I can't deny, yeah, like I've said many times to a lot of people, I want to be one of the most inspirational. I want to be one of the biggest artists of my generation. I want to be that. I want to be the Da Vinci of my time. Like I've said many of these things. I want to be that nigga by the time I'm dead. I want a funeral that people crying like Prince died, like people that didn't even know me just crying just cause like, but yeah, like I say a lot of that type of stuff. But at the same time, with that drive of wanting to be the best, I still don't feel the need to have to worry about other people in that pursuit because I'm so in my own head.
I agree with that too. I don't. Yeah, I agree.
I'm fighting so many of my own battles, nigga. I've had to fight over the saying I couldn't paint. I couldn't sculpt. I couldn't draw in pen. I said that for at least 10, 15 plus years of drawing in pencil. I said that I could not do these things. And I had to go in these classes because I was being made to just to fucking graduate with the art degree. Had to figure that shit out and then surprise my fucking self. Just like, yo, like, I can do some of this shit. Like, I'm so in my own mind. Like, I'm competing with me. And then at the end of that, like, I feel like me and somebody else can draw the exact same picture. But if you meet me and meet that person, not even no shade to them, I feel like you're probably going to buy mine just because you know me and my personality. And I feel like I'm a nice guy and I'm cool. Like, I can make friends with damn near anybody, I feel like. So just off of that alone, I feel like my personality with the intangibles and all that other shit, I'm not worried about nobody else. I don't know. I just stay in the zone. With art, I've been competitive with girls and a lot of ignorant shit, sports. A lot of things, and sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. But
I agree. I think I did. I made my point. My point was clear, but I think I messed up my point that I'm the same way. I with art, like I don't care about what other people are doing. I guess what I should have said was I want to be my very best. Like, the best way for me to stay hungry is just to say that, and it's not in a negative way. I can see Kyle. I can see you working. And I'm like, damn. Kyle just put out a whole picture, and I ain't posted a picture.
Yeah, I gotta do something.
That's what I mean.
That's how I feel about the other people that do yoga drawings on Instagram and shit. Oh man,
I'm like, I fucking love those dudes. Yeah, like I'll be sitting in my bed, and I'm like, man, I'm tired. I don't feel like getting into the day. And then I scroll, and everybody just eating on the
steadily working. Somebody else,
and it's not like a negative, like, oh, I want to be better than this dude. It's like I gotta get up.
Right. It's a positive spin on it. Yeah,
it's like it's just one of those where, like, if you really want it, you got to get up.
It's fine. You're finding all the motivation you can.
That's kind of how
Jordan did that. Yeah, like a lot of the greats, they say create motivation that wasn't even there. I forgot who said it. I wish I could source them, but somebody said that Derek Jeter, in one of the times when they won the World Series, was like, they said we couldn't do it. They said we didn't stand a chance. And that year they was like crushing niggas. Like, nigga, who said that? Derek Jeter, like who said that? Like, who's really doubting you like that? Or like even KD's like that now with just so many people who doubted him for so long. Like, right, yeah, that's a whole another thing. I mean, he's a baller. But
you a KD fan? You a KD fan? Or is that another day? That's another day.
I mean, nah, it's whatever. Like on the court, yeah, but he just does some things that he's so sensitive to what people, and I'm sensitive too. I'm sensitive as fuck. I just went in on Facebook the other day about somebody trying to tell me not to try something new. But I don't know, man. I just don't think he uses that energy the best sometimes with the doubters, like the Twitter stuff, and just, I don't know. It's not really my business, so I don't really give a damn, but that's just, I feel like personally he just got a little bit more maturing to do, as we all do in some respects, but On the court, he's a boss. On the court, he's a boss. I do find it also funny, which is kind of another testament to his character. I don't think he was really acting tough until he got to like being with Draymond Green.
That's one of my bigger
some of these other niggas.
KD
Like
issues,
he's hella tough now.
Now he's so tough. He's Mr. Tough now, bro.
But you know who else is tough? Russell Westbrook and them Thunder. I'm telling people.
That's my favorite team, bro.
Telling people, dog, the Thunder are gonna bang with them. I'm not saying the Thunder are gonna beat them, but they're gonna bang, bro. It's gonna be a good series.
Why can't the Thunder beat them?
I'm not saying they can't.
Okay.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm not gonna say that. Most people are writing everybody off saying that it's automatic Warriors, but I'm not. Nah. I remember. I'm a Lakers fan. I remember when we had Gary Payton and Karl Malone. We had 4 fucking All Stars starting. We had that team too. 4 All Stars, all time great All Stars on one team, and we fucking lost to the Detroit Pistons. Didn't nobody know Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton was yet, but them niggas slaughtered us. They came in and just did work. That shit was so depressing. So depressing. So I ain't about to just I gotta see it to believe it. It's hard to repeat over and over and over and over again.
I just feel like the Warriors, as great as they are, they can fall. And I feel like if there was any team in the world that can beat them, it's OKC. Just out of pure heart, bro. Melo, Paul George never won anything. Russell Westbrook,
he's playing so good.
Bro, got destroyed last year, but when Kevin Durant left him, came back and won the MVP. That's the ultimate chip on your shoulder.
By himself.
But here's even more. At the beginning of this season, people still not worried about him, bro. That dude has a chip on his shoulder, and he's gonna prove it. I'm telling you, Russell. Honestly, the funny thing also is that.
So you think Thunder's going to the finals?
We're gonna see. But what's funny?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I think he's sounding good right now.
But you know what's funny though? What's funny though is not only do people sleep on Russell as a person right now in this period, we sleep on Russell as a whole. Like we talk about LeBron and Steph and all of them, bro. Russell has like 85 triple doubles, bro.
Something like that.
And he has at least 6, 7 years, 8 years left in his body, dude.
Yeah.
Like Russell might be that dude.
He got more triple doubles than LeBron. Does he have more than LeBron?
Bro, LeBron is like
either that or he's on a faster rate. Like
LeBron
out of nowhere. LeBron has a lot of triple doubles.
He does not have no 80. He don't got no 80, bro.
I think he got a lot of triple doubles.
He's nowhere near.
Bro, he averaged a triple double in the finals. That's 7 right there. No, that wasn't 7 because they didn't go 7 games. But like that,
we're gonna find out.
Like, yeah, LeBron's bro.
LeBron dropped 57 last night.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was super cool.
I'm proud of him, man.
Right, that was hella cool. I can't go against LeBron anymore. That man, and this is the big thing on me in general. I'm a see it to believe it type of guy. I'm not about to. I don't like the hype. I'm like this with music too. I don't like somebody that's young coming in. You automatically anointing them.
LeBron has 56.
That's still a lot of fucking.
No, that's a ton. I'm just saying, like Russ is really
got more. Yeah, that's.
Bro, Russ is.
Well, that 82 game season, he averaged one. So like, yeah.
That's insane.
That was basically all last year.
So it's 82. He has 82 triple doubles right now. Jason Kidd, number 3, has 107. Magic Johnson has 138. He's going to be number 2.
He can break the record for triple doubles in a career.
Because number 1 is 181.
Oh, who's that?
Oscar Robertson.
Oscar, big O. Yeah.
He might be able to catch up to Oscar, but that's pushing it. I think he can get 2 easily though. He got 7 or 8 seasons left.
It's gonna be easy this year.
Yeah.
He's already having games like I said he was gonna have later on in the season.
I think I like this. Hey, what's that Wi-Fi again? Pussy Juice 69.
That one. Yeah.
44?
No, 25.
Oh. Do you remember the password?
I think it's Thirsty Street.
Caps or no?
No caps. 061. Yeah. When damn, something we talked about last time. Oh yeah. You gotta share your first camera memories again. That shit was cool.
Oh man, what did I say? That point and shoot that my mom had?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So when I was really young, my mom got this point and shoot camera. And you know, like I said last time, it was just back in the time where cameras weren't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't just really allowed to just mess with it. Like it wasn't one of those things where, yeah, you can take it in your room and do whatever you want with it. You know, that was like the family camera. It was used for the purpose of taking pictures at family gatherings and stuff like that. It wasn't too much used for creative purposes. But there were a few times where she would just let me take it and let me use it, and I just remember thinking, like, pictures are cool. That's like, as lame as that sounds, I remember that thought, just saying, oh, pictures are cool. Because I felt like when I was young, there wasn't a lot of pictures that I saw that I was like, oh, that's a cool shot. I would just see them, like I would just kind of look past it. I don't know how to explain it. You don't even realize what pictures are. You just kind of look past them.
Right.
And yeah, man,
that's a good point.
You know that how good that point is. Have you ever had one of those situations where maybe there's an artist or a word or a movie or book title or something, you never seen it before, but as soon as you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch a movie that like an old movie. As soon as I watch it, now it's everywhere.
Right.
Like I'm hearing all these little subtle references to it and all that stuff. I'm like, damn. Was I this sleep all the time, or did everybody watch it at the same time as me?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was like my first real camera memory. I didn't do anything crazy with it. You know, I would have a few things that I printed out, but you know, she did not let me go crazy with it. So I'm not gonna lie and say.
You spoke on something really, really dope that reminds me of something that my life drawing professor, shout out to Mr. Labor, I miss you, dog. Hope you're doing good. He told me in our class that in art you almost have to learn how to see again. Like you learn how to see all over again, to where you stop looking at so, like he told me all the time, like you're so goddamn detailed. You're so worried about so many unnecessary things. Like don't worry about all that. But just learning how to see again in terms of looking at this bottle in terms of it's a plastic bottle with a blue wrapper and all that. Like nah, fuck all that. It's a fucking cylinder. It's a cylinder with a cylinder cap on top of it. Like, and that's it. And it's got some white on the bottom and just some little shades of gray.
See, that's totally different than my mindset. So that's cool. That was one of my biggest things with art is I think I was trying to be too detailed. Like everything looked complicated to me to draw.
But the thing is, you learned how to see again too, though. And it
sounded
it was that moment when you got the camera, the little camera, because that's when you like, whoa, it hits you right then and there. Like, yo, this shit is ill. Like, you've been walking by photos your whole life doing all that, but they took the moment of you interacting with the camera, taking the photo, and just that whole process of like,
that's kind of like so I'll be talking to people, say I meet a new girl or just a new friend in general, and we talk about photography, and they're like, what do you like to do for fun? And I'll say, man, I can pretty much do anything because everything is art. Right. Like, we could go to movies, we could go ice skating, we could go just walking outside. Right. Like I'm gonna see something that is cool and that's fun to me. Right. So I feel like with that really helps. It helps me like in terms of meeting people or I guess with girls and stuff like that is I'm really down for anything. Right. I'm just gonna bring my camera with me.
Right. Now, see, I agree with something you just said. You dropped a little gem in there, and I agree with it completely. But I would like to play devil's advocate for a little bit because this is a fun-ass conversation. It's fun now, but the first time I had this conversation, not so much. You can get into some real big ego shit with artists sometimes, and it really sucks. It's really unfortunate when it happens, but understandable. People want to matter so much. But you said everything is art. And once again, I agree, but can you elaborate on how everything is art? I can throw some counter questions on that because not everybody believes that everything is art.
Let me even change that. I don't think everything is not necessarily art. Okay. Everything can be beautiful. And what I mean by that is I could take a picture of this. There's a paper towel and this. I could take a picture of that paper towel and I could tell a story with that. You really can.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's just beautiful. Right. Just how you have this stuff here, you know. I could tell a story of an artist.
It can become a still. It's a still life right now.
It's exactly right. It just can explain so much of your life. Every person that I see sitting on the street, like it's so weird. Like my eyes are different now. Like I see how the sun hits the building and stuff like that, and I just see like, oh, if I would have captured that moment, I don't know exactly what I would have done with it. I would have made the sunbeams look so amazing on him, and I would have had the shadows here. You know, you just tell a story. You can tell a story with everything, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
And honestly, the funny thing about photography was it made me a happier person because there would be so many times where I'm walking past people. I used to have this bad habit, and I completely curbed it. I don't talk about people anymore, whether it be, you know, just us sitting here, whether it be through text, around behind somebody's back, to their face. In my head, just walking past somebody, I could be like, oh yeah, his shoes are whack. I don't talk about people anymore. And I think it was easier for me to do that when I made a conscious decision to stop talking
about like people you know?
No, just period. I just think it's a bad habit. Say I'm walking down the street and I see some dude with a FUBU shirt on.
What if you like the FUBU shirt though?
Yeah, no, but just say, you know, he has a FUBU shirt on, and culturally that might be funny to some people, and culturally that might have been funny to me. But now, you know, all that tells a story of that person. Like I've just become so appreciative of life with this. I'm like, this dude right here, you know, he is who he is, and with the click of the camera, like he could be my best portrait. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just you just appreciate people.
Right. Yeah.
Appreciate so much about everything that you see.
Yeah, that's how I be feeling about portraits in general. But it doesn't matter what the portrait is, whether it's a human or an animal or anything. It doesn't matter. Even still lifes, but more so living portraits. Even if it's like a flower or a plant of some sort. I don't know, just capturing living objects specifically. Portraits for me is just the greatest shit. I've seen some of the most amazing reactions that I couldn't imagine. I've seen people cry from just a picture of one of their loved ones. People just break down and cry, and it just made their fucking day, at least. I can't say for how long or whatever, but just the simple reaction of just something I just drew a face. Like it was just a face, but just trying to connect with that person and just trying to capture the essence of whatever it is. Capturing the essence of that, putting it within that square image. It don't even have to be a square image now. That's what's cool about art, whatever, but capturing the essence of something and projecting it in a way that can create emotion from other people.
And I think that's the big point is you do it to create emotion, to capture a moment.
You can change somebody's life with it.
Yeah.
Make somebody cry, make them happy, piss somebody off.
One big realization that I've just recently had is that art is amazing because it's the only technique that we have where you can see through my eyes for a split second. You see the world the way that I saw it at that moment.
Right.
There's nothing else like that.
Translates that right there.
It literally it's a translation of directly what my mind saw.
Right.
I feel like no matter what you say about somebody's art, you have to respect that at that moment when they took that picture, when they decided to snap that shutter button, that was beautiful to them. You gotta respect that.
Right.
And I love that. I love that respect that art has when you decide to respect it. I don't think I like that at all.
Yeah, it's just those moments. It seems like a tangent, I think, but just those moments when someone, and this kind of go over the schooling versus not schooling, but it doesn't really require actually going to a school. Just having the knowledge of what you like and what you don't like. Those moments are just the greatest to me. Because then if I don't understand something, if that person can articulate why they fuck with it or what their mind was, what they saw, why they were creating that, then you can have that moment and connect. And just through the language of knowing it, then you can have that moment. And then you can sometimes you need to connect the dots. Sometimes we need help. Those moments are really, really dope. I'll be so excited to get some abstract artists on here. That'll be super, super cool. I know this one nigga who's so dope. I was talking about him already today a little bit, but yeah, he's gonna be on here. It's gonna be cool talking about his shit. He clearly has an extremely detailed process with how he's doing things, but
he's like an artist.
His control, yeah, he's a painter. He's dope. His process is amazing. I can't even describe it fairly, but just his use of texture, the way he balances out things with those textures and dividing up spaces. His line work is crazy. His palette is nuts. Dog, he's on another level. He's really, really dope. Me and him are gonna collab actually on one of my portraits with a lot of blank space. He's gonna do something with it and probably paint the blank space and just do some of his dope ass patterns on it.
We could talk about that too. Isolation in the art field and how dangerous it can be.
Oh man, yeah, I hate that part. That's why I wanted to do this podcast, or why I have my dream in particular. I feel like art, it's easy for a lot of artists to feel like it's all on them and that all they got is their own back, and that
But before you, even just when you just said that, I got a new thought.
What's that?
What if it's not that? What if it's not that it's easy for artists to feel like it's all on them and they got their own back, but rather the people who become artists are people that already kind of feel that way. I think artists in general are just kind of isolationists.
That's a good point. It's a really good point. Yeah.
Just the people who would consider themselves artists. I think we just tend to be isolationists. Maybe not so much with video. I think video might be the one outlier.
I think personally, culturally, we failed the art. Now, we as society, we as human beings.
That was deep, because you're so right.
We as failed the art community in terms of creating some of these platforms, because there aren't that many. And I could go into it with why this is my mega dream, but I just compare it to basketball. The fact that a kid at a very little age can touch a fucking basketball and dream of going to the NBA, but every kid on planet Earth takes some crayons or something, a pencil, we take something and we scribble all day on that paper, and it's the funnest fucking shit. And every kid does it. It's so fun. We don't know why we don't do it. We don't know why we love it, but every single kid has that creative outlet. We do it when kids do it when they sitting to eat and they have their little tray all to themselves and they take that food and mash that shit up with their hands and they're playing. They just want to do some cool shit. They want to make some cool shit. They don't even know why, but we all have that. And then somewhere between that age and about elementary school, first grade, it starts getting lost fast, and it's just not nurtured as much. It's not, and it makes sense. There's not that many outlets for those kids to go to. There's no, when I grow up, I want to go here because they support sculptors here, they support painters here, they support photographers here. And then there's not that many of them.
So I agree with everything you just said, and then I want to just add that. So even those kids, when they grow up, they even kind of get. The art community is demonized to a degree.
How so?
Okay. Some of the best artists in our generation, what are they known for outside of their art? Huge drug addictions. I mean music, painting. All these artists, they're really just as famous for how hard they party as they are for how great they are as an artist.
Word.
And it sucks that those two communities have to be so intertwined. I don't know. It's just, I guess creativity in this drug abuse. I shouldn't say artists. Just creativity and drugs. It just seem to intertwine so well together. And I guess it makes sense, but.
Right. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. It's weird how I don't meet too many. I said it off camera, but real shit, I don't know too many sober artists.
Yeah. Or
none that come to mind. If there are, forgive me, my bad, miss you. But I don't know. Most of the ones that come to mind that I personally connected with, we all have some sort of vice of some sort that we get down with. It's very odd. But that's people in general, is it not?
You think so?
Name
That's a
me,
good point, too.
name me a field, name me any job position
exactly.
where most of them are sober.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I know what you mean though. Like it's with artists in particular, especially the mainstream artists that come commercial and are like big pop culture influences. It's always slid in there about drugs and shit like that. It's crazy how that works. Really, really crazy. That's an interesting point.
I was in a creative funk a little while ago, and so I'm kind of in the process of. I'm really learning, not learning, but learning what I really want to do with my art. I feel like I said I reached the point now where whatever it is that I want to do, I think I can achieve it. Now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with it, and I want my stuff to really be my own. I really want it to stand on its own, and when you see something, I want people to be like, oh, that is either Darian Mox, or I could see the Darian Mox inspiration in that.
Right.
And not for any cocky reason, just because I want to put what's actually in my head on paper, and I'm just trying to really fine tune what it is in my head that I'm trying to put on paper. So, like I was telling Kyle just a second ago, I want to start kind of getting a comic book aesthetic almost to my work, not because because I love comics. I love everything superhero. I love everything DC, Marvel. I love all that stuff. And I just think it'd be really cool to, have these really voguey portraits with like a comic book touch, flair of something right there.
So
I don't know how
what
exactly
kind
how.
of flair? Yeah, what kind of flair you think about was my name? Like, how are we gonna implement this comic book type aesthetic? Because my first thought was the lines that divide up the pictures, and you was gonna have multiple pictures within one grid.
I think it could be all of it. It could be all of it. Anything.
Talking like the dialogue, like bam, wham.
It could be that too.
shits.
It could be all of it. I think the culture, comic book culture, is what I could do. Because I thought of, so there's a few thoughts I had. One could be, kind of a cover, a comic book cover. I could maybe even just have like the words issue number blah blah blah, and have my name somewhere in it, and it just like this picture that
It could be easy.
like that could easily be.
That's what I was
comic
thinking
book
about
cover.
too. Like, cause my first thought was like, granted, I don't know too much because I haven't read a lot of comic books, but whatever it is, not necessarily the bam part, but I'm sure there are many moments where like they're fighting within the comic books, and those whatever it is that they do to visually show the impacts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that type of shit going around, like the gun, shit like that.
There's just
Like
so
yo,
much- so
that could be
much
lit. Yeah, that could
So
be.
much shit. I have
And
a-
that stand out super easy. Like, granted, I wish I was following more photographers so it would sound way more genuine, but I easily recognize, like when I'm just scrolling fast, I easily see one of your pictures. Like, easily. Granted, I'm following about like 600-700 people. Some of them just do the yoga pictures, but I do follow some other non-yoga shits that take really, really good photos, and I can always recognize you're good with lighting. Like your lighting, you do,
Really?
and I like dramatic lightings too. So maybe that kind of my old Caravaggio paintings and the tenebrism effect. So I recognize it immediately because you're really good at dramatic lights, and you seem to always
crazy.
have some really good dark
Yeah.
darks, and you always
I
have
love darks.
you always have a good highlight in there as well.
No, that's crazy because that feels good to hear people say stuff like that. Because I was meeting with a friend the other day, and she was just telling me that she loved my colors, and that's crazy to me because I felt like that was like my lowest, the thing that I wanted to increase the most in my photography, and she told me that was like her favorite thing.
Especially as I see you doing this, you have a very good sense of muting colors and bringing some out. Like my nigga, you was just talking about how you didn't like that blue green, like or whatever color you said that was. That's so minuscule in that whole composition, but the fact that you were that in tune with that, like you have a clear sense of what you want with the colors and shit, which brings me to what I was gonna ask anyway, because the way you showed me the original now, which I appreciate it, that's dope. A lot of people wouldn't even do that, but I appreciate you seeing that. What brings you to going from the original to like, all right, I'm gonna tilt that a little bit just to make that angle good, I'm about to do this part? Like, what goes through your mind if you can?
And I'm gonna
kinda
ask you the
jog
same
through that
question in a
part?
minute too, because I think that's a great question.
For sure.
I think for me, like that's the hardest question, bro.
It is hard.
That's the hardest question because I don't know sometimes. Like I'll just start staring at the picture, and you guys probably can't see it, but I'll stare at the picture and I'll look at it. And one thing, okay, so just to open up this point is one of my biggest pet peeves is when I see somebody go out and shoot. They shoot one day that they'll show it on Instagram or whatever. You're like, oh, I shot today, and then the next day there's a full set of those pictures. In my opinion, you can't edit art in one day, bro. You gotta ingest it. You gotta really feel for that stuff. Like, so this picture, like, I mean, this sat on my hard drive.
Takes a while. You gotta live with it. That's interesting. I've heard Jay-Z talk about reviewing music that fast, but I've never heard somebody really like, and that makes so much sense. It takes time to digest how you really, really feel about it.
Yeah, because a lot of my pictures, I'll take them. I don't necessarily like them right away.
Huh.
Like this picture right here. This was the original. I didn't like this picture at all. Like, I really felt bad about it. I was like, man,
I don't really like it either, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't like it just like that. And I didn't like it like this.
Like, I see potential in it, but
I
like,
brought this
just
into
that
Photoshop when I
its
came
own?
to your apartment. I did not like this picture until I came here and sat on this couch.
Oh, you just started doing that?
Yeah, I just started editing this.
That's fresh as fuck.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
I wasn't watching you get down yet. I gathered what you was doing, but I was setting up everything still. Yeah, that's
like,
lit.
Before then, I was
so
just
fast.
I was just like, do I want to mess with this picture or not? So, anyways, after I decide, it's like, okay, this is the one that I'm gonna take into the shop. This is the one that I'll mess with or whatever. That's when I just start going with the colors. Photoshop is really good with the colors. Right here, first thing I'm doing is, making sure my white balance is good. I want to make sure that her skin looks like her actual skin before you start getting crazy with colors. The worst thing ever is start messing with a bunch of colors, and then you look up and she's like 4 shades darker or in green and stuff, and you're like, oh damn, like I need to start everything over.
Right.
So
you just put so many layers over the top of something that could have been a quick fix.
Yeah, it could have been a quick fix, and now it's...
So there is a sequence. Okay. So that's the first one, the colors of the skin?
Yeah. So with Lightroom, you can go straight down, literally straight down. So your first thing you want to do is get the white balance right. So make sure that your whites are true whites, your blacks are true blacks. And you can always change those later, but you just want to start off fresh. So I'm doing that, and I want to make sure that, for me, I really want it to be dynamic. Whatever I don't want just like a basic pose. I don't want her just sitting here smiling. I think that's super boring, and I take too many pictures like that. You know it, but people listening might not know. I do headshots for companies, like if they need their own LinkedIn pages and stuff like that. I do that. So I'm tired of that. Like, I hate when I come to my actual pictures. Like, that's the last thing I want is just that cheesy smile. Here's a good picture. So I crouch a lot when I'm taking pictures. I want these good angles and stuff. And just from there, whatever the vibe I'm feeling that night, sometimes some music and some weed will really get you thinking totally different. Like all that stuff I told you that I wanted to try, the comic book stuff, that happened last night.
Oh, okay. That's a fresh idea. I love those, boy. Light bulb shit.
Yeah, the light bulb. And I'm feeling good creatively just from last night.
So all it takes is that one idea to just... I'm in a whole new space now. Really? We're so fickle with our feelings sometimes.
Yeah, bro. I felt horrible.
Yeah.
I was not feeling good.
Yo, hold up real quick because I got an idea. Yo.
You like that one more?
Dog. I don't know if I like the photo more.
I don't like...
Or if I just like her more in that because she's so banging.
You think so? See, and this is what it gets to. This is what sucks. Because a model will be like, hey, can you send me those pictures? But what she doesn't realize is I'll edit them all in here.
Right.
And then I take them to Photoshop.
And this is your,
and then it's like, I don't know which one I like really until I take
the raws. Yeah, I get it now.
This is why it takes so long, bro. Because I don't know. Like.
Right. Time out, I got distracted because I saw that last picture. We should totally, up to you, but especially during this segment while we're talking about it, you should, if you're cool with it, send me the one that you want. Yeah. That's like the finished product. The one that you edited specifically, I think that one's ill if you're gonna. Yeah. If it's post worthy anyway, and I can slide that in the middle of this topic and like
just so they can see it. You can even show the raw.
Yeah. Eventually we're gonna be able to like all that. That'd be so dope. That's how many people would just go to your shit and just thank you just for the gem of the skin tone thing. Just starting off with that basic thing. Like it's little things like that a lot of us take for granted.
That art for what it is. Like, you can't tell somebody's art is trash. Period.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I got in a big thing with somebody yesterday. It's like, yo, like that was you should really learn how to critique somebody, dog. But I think that's a big thing anyway. Just there's been a lot of,
I think I'm really not. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm about to sound arrogant as fuck. I don't give a damn though. I think I'm excellent at critiquing shit because I always go in every time. And I don't care how garbage I really think it is. I'm gonna find something that I genuinely like in that, and I'm gonna praise that first.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna praise that, and I'm like, wow, I really like whatever it is, and I'm gonna talk about that. And now let's talk about how we can get to whatever your end game is, and
you'd be
the suggestion
if you weren't,
right,
if you weren't,
yeah.
because that's just the way you're supposed to do it. You can't. You like I said. I hate to say it so strong, but you're an asshole if you look at something that somebody is excited about, smiling in your face, like, man, what do you think about this, and you just destroy it.
Yeah,
that's not how you do that. You know,
boy, one of my mentors would shred me in class, dog. Oh my god.
That is one kind of exception though.
Nah, man, I still
unless he was just like shredding you, like it was just okay.
Yeah, I got shredded a couple times, but it was like the ultimate motivation for a nigga like me. It's like, all right, I'm gonna show you some fucked up, like yeah, like.
See, now that I'm looking at this picture might be too dark, cause this one to this one does look pretty fucking dark. So I might bring. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave it off. So anyway, so sometimes I like first pictures I edit them kind of towards Instagram, and then I'm working on my portfolio right now. So I have maybe 9 or 10 pictures that I think are really excellent. That most of them haven't even been posted on IG yet. So I have 9 or 10 pictures.
That's dope though. It feels really good when you start loading them up in the chamber. Like, nigga, I can fire them off whenever.
Yeah, dude. I totally don't care about IG anymore. Like I've completely changed my mindset. I used to take pictures, and I still kind of do. It's a bad habit of mine. But I take pictures knowing that on Instagram it's gonna get cropped like that.
Yeah.
So I would take pictures like that, and I think that's a horrible fucking habit.
Right, because you're already cutting your shirt. You're selling yourself short for something that could be potentially great for something else.
Yeah,
it might not be great on the Instagram square, but like fuck that.
It's not about Instagram.
It might be on a billboard or
Dude,
which is a very weird format, by the way.
Billboards?
Very weird format.
Really?
Which shout outs to this girl that really, really inspired me to draw that motherfucking picture over there.
Yeah, I
had that. That's the one that went viral. Like I had that in my screen. I screenshot.
What you mean by viral? You went viral?
22,000 people saw that shit in like a day or two. Like
I remember
my dad was like, he's like 1,000. Like it says 22K, Dad. Like that's how many people saw that shit. It was how many? Like 100. Like it was like 100 something people saved it or something. I don't know what it's doing in internet space now.
That's kind of sucks too. You ever think about that? Like I think it's cool.
I'm gonna see my shit one day on something. Yeah, lit, bro. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad.
So mad.
I'll find out who that was and like we'll talk about it.
No, dude. If I ever saw somebody steal my pictures and get more likes than me, I'd be on a whole nother level.
I know I'm gonna see something one day and be like, nigga, what the yo?
I already know I'm gonna be mad.
I mean, that's a part.
Yeah, look at that. Quick brightness adjustment. I think that brought it out. Brought the lights up a little bit because it was too dark. I think that's too dark. Well, how you feel, honestly?
I agree, because that's the contrast just simply better when you do one more over. Yeah, that contrast is better.
Okay, cool. I can even bring my contrast.
It's getting a more complete contrast. Everything was grayscale and lower.
That was what I was noticing.
You didn't have any whites.
It looked pretty flat. It looks pretty flat right there.
Yeah, which I didn't notice, but then
you don't notice it,
right?
That's why I feel like it takes time, man.
Well, yeah, a lot of the editing part I know is intuitive shit. Like it's this weird. For me, at least, when I'm doing the editing
10,000 hours.
Like, yeah, for sure. But like, I don't know, man. It depends on the picture. Like, there's some, for example, and these are like the greatest ones because sometimes I have a visualization of the drawing before I even sketch it, and like, I can. Like, say if I wanted to find that girl and do a montage like I've done for some of these other famous figures and shit, I would go through her page, and immediately as I'm looking at pages, I would, in my head, pick about 4 or 5 of them. I'd start screenshotting some of them, and as I'm screenshotting them, depending on the angle of the photo, depending on the angle of her face and all of that, I immediately know where I'm going to put that picture. And sometimes it's like that.
When
Sometimes
you doing
it's
like
not.
the montages?
Mm-hmm. Now sometimes it's not like that. Like my Tarantino homage.
Have I seen that one?
On that one, I don't shit. Probably not. Nobody did on Instagram. Like, yo, I was low key a little salty. Like, dog, I worked on that for like a year, bro.
Let me see that.
But I mean, it's all good. Shit, you can't predict it. I didn't know that was going viral. Like, anytime you try, and that's the kind of the fun part.
The one picture I had that went viral was
part.
fucking gross.
Anytime you try and that's funny. Anytime you try and guess it, you don't know. And anytime you think it's just some basic shit, it goes. But
bro, we've talked about Tarantino. That's my dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like that real fast.
Yes, I could. Thanks. It don't mean that much to me, bro. But I appreciate it though. Yeah, I would never like you didn't like that, nigga. Nah, fuck that. It's okay.
I'm pretty sure I did like that.
You might have. Shit, I don't know.
But look, my one picture that went viral. All the bangers I have in my mind. I feel like I have bangers. This hoe. That. That's like the most likes I've ever gotten on a picture.
481. 481.
Like, well, why?
Yeah, that's
this?
like mine.
Whatever.
Mine we had 20-something thousand people that liked it. How many did I get to? How many likes did I eventually?
You know, that's what's frustrating about Instagram to me. I feel like the quality of my pics has raised like exponentially, and I get no love.
That's funny. I'm at the exact same number.
481.
Yeah. That's my record too. That'll be my record for a while.
That's kind of creepy.
That is kind of weird. We're
makes me
viral
feel like,
buddies.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look at God talking right there. That's wild.
That makes me feel weird though. Like I saw back to the point I said. It's like I feel like I've grown exponentially, but my Instagram stuff hasn't really gone up. It's actually gotten worse. Like I get less interactions, less love on pictures than I used to, and it's not a big deal because I honestly do feel like I've gotten better.
Notice it though.
But it just makes me wonder. Like
you can't help but think like, well, why is this happening? Like,
what's going? Is it Instagram? Is it the way I'm marketing myself, or
right?
What is it? Because I mean, there's no way that these pictures shouldn't be getting at least as much love as my other ones were.
Like since the viral thing, I've been doing a lot more commission shit, and I've been posting my commissions and shit.
Yeah, I'll say that too.
But I've only got probably maybe like 20 more followers since that viral moment. Yeah. Granted, I haven't counted, so I could be off. I don't really count it or nothing like that. But yeah, I'm not even worried about it anymore. I saw how quickly that happened, and I'm like, all right, I'm Gucci. And if I'm still at 1,400 by next year, then like, yeah, I'll probably be right back to my fickle mode of like, damn man, what the fuck? But I'm not really tripping. I feel like I'm working on so many different things. Like these interviews actually got a fuck ton of likes. Well, not these, but my interview, I got like 3 interviews of me on Instagram and a fuck ton of people. Anytime that a lot of people explore my page, they always go to that and like that shit. So that's kind of cool. When I get to chopping these motherfuckers up,
I know that's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah.
So I want quality out of it too, just like you do.
Yeah, it's gonna be so lit.
I want it to be dope.
It's gonna be so lit.
It's the right picture.
But back to the creative process part of like how the mind works in terms of the editing part. For the Tarantino one in particular, like I did sketch that one out in another notebook. I sketched it out and I had to figure out where I wanted to put like Django. Originally Django was going to be on the other side, and then I realized like it just made more sense to slide him over in another section and do that. And then I don't know, some of the shit's intuitive, like which characters I'm going to add colors to. Like I don't really know. I just know that one was inspired by I call it my Black Power piece, because I did a painting from my college of the Obamas, Frederick Douglass, a whole bunch of Black historical figures, and I only did a few, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, etc. But I only did a few of them in color, and I let it branch out into black and white, which was a really, really like bold move in terms of how you use colors, because you're supposed to split up and evenly distribute the colors. And
that's the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm down. I'm hearing.
Sure.
I'm listening.
For sure. Like, yeah, it was a big,
So
at least for me, it was a big critique in a lot of like paintings and shit. Like, if it's a natural thing, and almost anything, if you look like at like a big painting, if you see one color anywhere in that painting, you're probably gonna see it somewhere else on like close to the opposite side. Not necessarily right on the opposite side, but just to bring that harmony and that balance to the piece.
Yeah.
You rarely just see one color just in one spot, unless it's all black and white, and that's the focal point. But outside of that, if you have an all colored composition, just watch and you'll see like the colors distributed.
See, and that's one reason why I want to go to school for this shit, because I want to know stuff like that.
Right, and you do it intuitively, like you did it in that one with her jacket matches that shit. And that's a different blue.
I guess it's those things that you feel, but like actually hearing it in words and then looking out for it are two different things. If it's like a picture, say this picture just was feeling weird to me and I couldn't quite pinpoint it. I want to be able to go back in my head and like, you know, run down my checklist of reasons why it might be feeling fucking off to me.
Yeah, like if there was any, I'm trying to think of that's a pretty good photo with a nice balance of warms and cool colors. So that's hard to say, but if there was like a bright yellow in there, that'd be weird. Like anywhere.
This one's feeling weird to me
because there's nothing that bright anywhere. I don't know, that pose is so fire.
You think so?
Yeah, that's
my
life.
Fire.
I'm biased to like crossing poses with life drawing. I feel like anytime, which is so weird to me, I can get a woman in the nude and do any pose, but for some reason the leg crossing pose to me is just the dopest shit. The contrapposto, I don't know how to pronounce it. The just standing straight up with one hip swayed out. I love that shit, but the leg cross is just, I don't know. I love it, and I like her gangster lean on that too. Like, look at the greens being distributed one side, on the other side it's even up there too. It's just a thing that happens with the browns and that light brown right there and the light browns up there too. It just
so even this picture feels, it does. It feels really
balanced.
Closed.
It's balanced,
like when I actually bring this one in and edit it, yeah, you're right. It feels even. Like you get boom boom.
It's very, very even, but it's not too even. Like
blacks and blacks.
If she was even that much more over, it'd be like more postcardish because that's even with that. And then she's centered between the greens and the browns, so if she was perfect, and her lean takes her out of just the straight right in the middle composition. It's close to in the middle, but it's just broken up enough to where, I think it's dope.
And if you posted it on IG?
She did?
No, I said if that was posted on IG, it'd get scrolled right past because people don't care about art. Right. We talked about that with the when Triple H was sitting on ESPN, and he was just like, when he was talking about, the topic was could Floyd and Mayweather could what was it, Mayweather?
Floyd and McGregor, yeah.
Sorry.
They know.
Yeah, they know.
Right.
Could they make it in the WWE? Could they do some interesting things at WWE? And his point was that, yeah, of course they could, because people watch the boxing not because they care about all the technicalities in boxing and exactly what's going on, because it's entertainment.
Right.
You know, people just want to see a good picture. Like I feel like that's like the big thing with art is you have to not necessarily get past it. You always make what you want to make, but you have to at least accept that, you know, the girl, the good, cute looking girl taking a selfie with her iPhone 6 is probably just going to always do better than whatever you can make.
Yeah. I never even, Whoa.
It's just, you're not going to compete against it.
Right. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, and I get what you mean now with the compete thing that much more, because I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the fine ass girl with the selfie. Yeah, like that's gonna go viral versus
she's gonna beat your hard work. You know, you can work all day, and she's gonna post that hoe up.
And that's also the thing about it, because I tell a lot of artists growing up, like, don't draw somebody else's art. But then there's a major contradiction in that, of course, because what I'm talking about is like, don't draw over somebody else's drawing, or don't draw somebody else's drawing or painting, or I say don't use a drawing for the reference of another drawing, in my opinion. Sometimes you break the rules of that, of course, but of course mine that I break on an everyday basis is photography, because of course that's somebody else's art almost every time. And I'm getting to the point where I'm more conscious now, to where somebody, like, I can look at yours and tell that went through some major editing. So anytime I see a picture that I know went through some editing, I feel an obligation, like, I gotta tag that photographer too, because that's their baby just as much as it is whoever the subject is versus mine. If anything, it's the photographer's baby more than anybody else.
So sometimes you would just like just tag the model or something like that.
Yeah, all the time. I still do that, and I think that's a big thing. Like, a lot of photographers want their photo cred, and a lot of times I want to say, and shout outs to the photographer too, because that was an ill ass shot. Like, and like with your angling, there's certain things where I feel like I can tell when it's one of those. But how do you feel about that though? Because like photography there's selfies and there's so many things to where selfies, postcards. Photography is used every day within our society, but it's not used in a point of it being fine art. So how do you deal with that in terms of you working on something that definitely is fine art and dealing with those peoples who can't connect with that, don't realize that it is fine art to you, and some of those, how do you deal with those conflicts of somebody kind of sunning your shit basically?
Like, it's fair. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. It doesn't bother me if people don't see my stuff as fine art. In my case, I want to reach fine art. I don't think that I'm there yet.
Or not even just personal belief, but like not even respect.
Not even respecting for well,
right.
There's no point in getting upset about that, really, because they're just wrong. Yeah. You know, I just like somebody who's just not accepting photography as fine art. They're just wrong.
Right.
I mean, like, what else do you say to them? I could argue with them all day long, but they don't see it. They're not there. That's if that's in their mind, you know. I'm not gonna. There's really not much you can do.
Right.
Now, if they're coming at me saying that, you know, they see a particular picture that I have, and they're just, for whatever reason, thinking that, you know, your photography is not, it's not good, it's not art, it's not even art. If they just told me that it wasn't even art,
that's just crazy.
Then, yeah, that's another thing. Instagram belittles the quality of these pictures too. That's one thing that bothers the hell out of me. Cause I feel like that's where I try to compete with, is that I think I take really quality pictures. Not I don't try to diminish my quality too much. But yeah, it's like, what do you say to somebody? What do you think? What would you say if somebody's like, that's not art?
I don't know, because I think drawing is looked at different universally, which is not fair at all, but it just, I don't know. I mean, granted, like I can relate in terms of people not taking art serious. Like, I say it all the time in terms, like, when I'm trying to be egoless, when I go through these modes of feeling like I'm invisible in society, like, of no disrespect to family and friends back home. I know there's a lot of people that love and care. It's not about you right now, though. In terms of like my dreams, I got so many goals and things I want to accomplish, and I need a lot of help to get that. So there's certain times where I feel like this brilliant ass nigga that's just invisible in society, and with that, sometimes I get frustrated as fuck. 'Cause like I said, I think I have so many ideas, and a lot of times rationalize it, especially when it's females, when I see them like go towards something and somebody else that I'm like, damn, I thought me and you had something, ma. And then you go somewhere else. I'm like, all right, I get it. Like, it's cool. I'm just a nigga that draws pictures right now. Right now I'm just a nigga that sits at home and draws with my little pencil. And that's it right now. You don't see the vision. You don't know I'm trying to be the greatest artist of all time. You don't know I'm trying to like.
But I feel like I tell
you
them.
Don't know.
Like, how many times do I gotta tell you that?
They don't believe that though. Like, think of how long DJ Khaled had to tell people he was about to be the shit before he finally got on. People say he's been talking like this forever. That's why he got so much respect. He genuinely didn't change. Like, he's been a mouthpiece. He just finally got on. So he's been consistent with that. Like, it just, nigga, Kanye West's first fucking MTV interview looked that camera dead in the eye and said, get used to this space. I'm gonna be around for a long time. Like, the balls, dog. Like, he wasn't playing in the slightest. But like,
I think
that's
I might
rare.
stop being so humble too.
Yeah, there's certain times where
I think that's gonna be my caption.
Right.
I'm done being humble.
I think it's a gift and a curse, man. Cause like it can push people away. It can definitely push people away.
I'm a humble dude. That's just how I am.
Right.
Yeah, but back to what you were saying, how people just don't seem to see the vision. It's okay, man.
Yeah, I don't get mad at those people anymore. Granted, it will be interesting 10 years later. Granted, if I'm the man, like I think it's going to be happening around 10 years later when I already got 10 years of having this podcast. It's just going to be crazy. But it's going to be interesting how I treat some of them same people that I know slept on me. I really want to stay as humble as possible and not be like a lot of rappers that blow up and start shitting on people. But like, yeah, or not even just rappers. I shouldn't do rap like that, but just musicians in general, or just a lot of people, because it makes sense. Like, it's hard to forget that. Like, Michael Jordan thanked everybody who opposed him for his Hall of Fame speech, and I genuinely don't think he was trying to be an asshole. He was dead ass serious. Like, y'all pushed me to the brink, and I needed y'all. Thank you. I wouldn't be that nigga without you. Like I think he genuinely meant that. Like a lot of people took it as like you're an asshole, but like,
Dude, I'm excited to see what happens in 10 years. Like, to me, it's disappointing whenever
37, boy. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun.
What the fuck is that? Lyrics to that song. To me, it's disappointing when I actually will let somebody in on my stuff. They're like, I just want to watch you edit, and I let them in. I let them just watch me edit, and they're interested, but it's just it don't feel right.
The passion isn't being matched.
Yeah, and that's one thing where I used to be super girl crazy. I would always have another girl. That's just me. I just was into girls, and then I just started realizing that, dude, the next chick I want, the next chick that's gonna be me is she's either gonna have to be a model or be a photographer, and not because I think they look good, but just because they're gonna love it the way I love it.
All three of my girlfriends were artsy in some respect.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be that.
And a lot of women that I've talked to are artsy in a lot of respects.
It's got to be that for me, because it's just that level of connection. I need that. I need somebody who's gonna push me to take good pictures. Hey, go out there and shoot. Or really, the big thing is I want somebody who, when we hang out, is not taking away from my time.
They gotta fully respect what you do. They gotta have a strong sense of respect.
Bro, it's gotta be bigger than that. It's gotta be even bigger than that. Because I want a girl who, when we hang out, maybe I can take a picture and I love it. Maybe it's portfolio worthy. Just us chilling. I think that's like the way that you get the best pictures, bro, is when you're just in the moment and inspired. Like maybe we're just walking around and I see something, I'm like, hey, can you stand here? I don't want a girl who's, no, I don't feel good right now. Or it's like, come on, I see it. You know,
right?
You're holding me. Man, I feel like you're holding me back. Like it's not about you. And as weird as that says, weird as that sounds, it's not about you. You know, it could be
my object for this dope ass photo.
Please.
Right. Nah, I feel you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's a whole nother topic. Feeling like people match the passions and shit. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough for me because I'm such a pedal to the floor type of guy. So I'm just now getting to the point, maybe right around you, to be like 1,000, to the point where it's like, nah, like he's genuinely going through something. Like, just relax. Like everything's fine.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Just now getting to the point of understanding like that. People are just going through shit sometimes, and not even that. Like people sometimes don't like. I didn't even have a full understanding. Like I have to be ultimately thankful that we didn't get the ball rolling as fast as we wanted when it was me, you, and Trice, because it would have been different. I don't care to talk about all that fuck shit that we were about to talk about. Like I don't care about none of that. Like we were about to get on that mic and talk about all the same things that like thousands of other podcasts were talking about.
Yeah, I want to get deep with it.
Actually give a fuck about. Yeah.
I want to get deep with it.
And I like talking about fuck shit, but like I just like talking about.
I think we.
I want to get in people's heart. I want to dig into people's soul. Like, what is the thing that you care about more than anything in this fucking world? Because I'm so vocal with mine.
You know what?
I feel like a lot of people
are. I don't reach out to people too, because I know some other photographers. Well, I guess you don't just want photographers, but I do know some photographers who are in love with it, bro. Who I think would be just as like great to have on here.
Yeah,
I think that would be great. I'm gonna check attitudes first. So check.
Sure.
People want to make sure that they're good, but
that's cool. Eventually, some egos are gonna come in here eventually, and it's gonna be some good talks. Ooh, it's gonna be some good talks. I'm to the point now. I've heard some of the most arrogant art opinions at this point.
What are their opinions? Like, how are people arrogant?
Well, I know a phenomenal painter who cannot stand anything Van Gogh. Anything, can't stand the screen painting.
Get that Jack Miles super back on.
Can't stand a lot of other stuff. But most definitely, like I know a painter in particular who just anything that is considered commercial or mainstream, he can't stand it. And I've called him out to his face. It's his ego, and I've told him like dog, like y'all, anybody who's like that to me just wants to be the man too. Like How you gonna hate on Starry Night? Like,
it's a form of hating, bro.
And it makes sense. You've been doing what you do for so damn long. Been teaching, been seeing so many other people come through and seeing people do what they do and duplicating that exact same painting over and over and over. Every semester, you know that's going to be one of the paintings that you have to see over and over and over again, whether it's a screen painting, because typically a lot of teachers, I think, make us do a duplicate one of your master's paintings.
Yeah.
And that's always one of them. Always going to be one of them. Starry Night and screen painting will always be that by a lot of kids. And just because we haven't done much research yet. And I get his wanting to poke to get you to research more shit than just that. Because there's a lot of other really, really dope shit out there. But I'm not about to...
Doesn't happen.
I'm not about to feel negatively about Van Gogh just because everybody wants to put Starry Night on their shit. Like, the way I broke it down, and this separates a lot of artists, the way I broke it down, and I have respect for the artists that are like this. I was in a critique, well, I was in a critique with one of my classes, and I asked all the students and the teacher, like, yo, if you met this lady that was like, oh my God, yo, it's so nice to meet you. I love your stuff so much. Oh my God, I'm such a fan of your work. Yo, but there's this one painting that I love so much. That's my favorite fucking painting. I love this painting so much that I want it on my coffee mug. I want this on my coffee mug. So every day when I wake up early in the morning to drink my coffee, I get to see that image because it reminds me of this and that. And I just love that. And I love you so much. I want that on my mug. Would you tell that lady no? And a lot of people was like, yeah. I'm like, dog, you're fucking crazy. Like, what? Like, I'm gonna get that money. You gonna go ahead and come this way. Put my shit on whatever. That's just me though. Like, and I get it because there's this integral thing of not wanting to duplicate some of your shit because you can lose a rarity in that. And I understand that, but
So these people are saying they wouldn't even want their pictures on stuff?
they don't want to be quote unquote commercial. They don't want to make 1,000 prints of the same image and sell that because to a lot of people that's not art. To a lot of people that's not necessarily art, or just a print in general is not necessarily art to a lot of people, or even something that is mass produced things are not art to a lot of people.
We're on a different level though. I get what they're saying. Just because you don't get the stroke lines, you don't get the paint splotches, you don't get even just your fucking sweat might be on there. You don't get that when you print it and stuff.
Right.
So
and that's respect. I can respect that.
But at the same time, I mean, I guess my main goal is not to get my art out there. Like, I don't care about it being seen. I guess I do make it for me, even though I said I didn't.
I want one of my pieces.
I do want money though. I want to be able to do it forever.
In
and I'm a
every
realist.
home in America.
And yeah, so that's what you're with me. Like I love art, but I'm also a realist, and I do still want to live comfortably. I want to live comfortably off of art.
Right.
And the only way you can do that is selling stuff. And that's just
right. You can either mass produce some shit, or you're gonna have to make some one of a kind motherfucking shit and go in your galleries and sell them for 10,000 and keep cranking that out once a year.
That'll never happen.
You feel me? Like
the only way you're gonna sell that 10,000 is if people know.
Right. I'm about to draw this Bob Marley, Marilyn Monroe, put them on some shirts, make some prints. What's up? You want some? I got you 2 for 20. What's good? Like, yeah, I'm hustling out there. I got money to get. I'm trying to get that based off of the shit that I love to do. And for those who want to do the gallery thing, I can respect that. But this goes back into the me wanting to create a different lane for artists. Because there's a ton of artists that sit at home and they do what they do every day, but they don't have a place where they feel like they can sell that shit.
Yeah.
And they need a platform. I met a kid in Colorado who makes the dopest sculptures out of fucking soap. R2-D2 like this size, my nigga. Every little detail in R2-D2 is in there. The nigga had Pokeballs with Pokemon in the inside of them shits. Made out of soap, my nigga. Like, that nigga needs a spot, bro. Like, he does. Niggas would love to buy that shit and use it. And they would love it. And be like, oh, it's okay. He makes so many of them, I go right back and I just get a different one. And I might get a different Pokemon and we'll see which one's on the inside next time. It's fun. My kids love it. Like, nigga, that nigga deserves a lane. Like, I met another guy who creates these, like, he was one of them that was like, he
he likes to be the devil's advocate. He's a big ass troll. He loves trolling people. So he was definitely one of the artists that just wanted to be in there and poke me just because they knew I was so passionate. And then I'm talking about something that nobody else in the room was talking about. So I was the weirdo and they all wanted to poke at it. But I pointed at this one nigga in particular, like, yo, you draw these crazy ass monsters and these, all from the top of his dome too, bro. He draws these monsters and these things that look alive, and he makes these landscapes that look like they're living. It's kind of Tim Burton-esque, but he takes it to a whole nother level with his level of detail that he applies it with. This nigga deserves a lane. Like, and I flipped it on him too. Once they finally got to the point of like they're seeing full circle, how I really just want to change some artists' lives and I'm not just about a money grab. Some of them were thinking it was that, and I understand that too. I was like, man, like, niggas like you deserve your lane. Like, you know how many people love fucking monsters and crazy ass creatures like you, dog? How many people would buy prints at the fucking wazoo of your shit just because your style's unique? You know how much you will thrive every fucking Halloween if you mass produce, my nigga? But don't trip, I'm not gonna take none of this personal. One day when I get this spot, I will fucking hire you and I got you, dog. I'm gonna take care of y'all niggas. And I'm gonna remember how y'all shit on my idea right now just cause y'all think I'm just on some ego shit, but I'm not gonna take it personal. I got you. Like, I got you. One day. So in this mode, he's probably like, man, fuck you, low key. But like, I'm still like, dog, you're so fucking dope.
You can't say everything.
Kill your fucking ego and sell your shit, dog. Like, live your fucking dream. Don't tell me that you make all them monsters just to hang them up in your fucking room and nobody appreciate them. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody does that, dog. Like, it's like people who rap and act like they don't want to go platinum. I don't want to be on the radio. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Everybody who makes music wants to be popping. Everybody. Anybody. If you made a fucking song, you thought about what that'd be like if everybody heard that shit.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you wrap it up with the song, then I really see what you mean.
Everybody wants to be recognized. And I'm not saying everybody wants to be like us and wants to be one of the greatest artists ever. But that soap guy is happy doing what that soap guy does. And that motherfucker deserves a place to be able to do that forever. And to inspire other kids that like to sculpt and shit. And so they can look at that guy and say, yo, he sculpts some really cool shit. I want to do that too when I grow up. They deserve a place.
It's kind of a totally different argument in photography though. Like, commercializing in photography, like, so commercializing in painting and art means that you make your art and it becomes commercial, right? Commercializing in photography means that you take commercial pictures. You're no longer making your art. Say a company hits you up and they say, hey, we want you to shoot this model at this location, just like this.
Right.
That's what you do. They just want your camera, really. You're not really.
I mean, a little more than that. They like, between like wanting your camera, like say maybe they looked at your portfolio and are trusting that they really see that you have a.
But dude, they're but they wouldn't let you edit those. Well, I do that.
Right.
So the guy I work with.
Oh, you're talking about certain companies in particular that just literally just want pictures.
If you work for Vogue, if you shot for Vogue, there's gonna be a hairstylist there, a photo directioner there.
Yeah, you have no control.
Yeah, that's what, like you were just the.
They
camera,
have the setting set up, all that. Oh.
So in a sense, or think about those stock photos where you see them on the boxes of like Easy Mac or Velveeta cheese or something, or like just you flip.
Imagine if that's your job, you just did that. Or like school pictures, you just sit there and just.
Yeah. I do school pictures right now sometimes. It fucking sucks.
No, not like.
No.
School pictures are like senior pics. Like the yearbook pictures?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course that sucks. That's exactly what I was describing. Yeah.
That fucking is not
Can
funny.
you sit up a little bit, please? Oh, open your eyes. No, click. Hit. Oh, no, one more. Open.
Yeah,
1, 2.
I don't even tell them 1, 2,
You're
3.
just a little photo slave.
Yeah.
Just hit that button when we.
It's no fun. It's not art at all.
That's no different than being on an assembly job in a factory.
Yeah, you're true.
Whew. That's interesting. That's really, really interesting. Yeah, that's what you're saying is commercial photography. That right there.
Yeah, I don't want any part to do with that.
Right.
If I'm not at least my name, if I'm not there.
Versus being your own freelance photographer that can control your subject.
I mean, I don't mind being commercial. I could be commercialized, like if I'm doing something that I at least am interested in. I don't want to have to be. I'm not arguing your point. I still think your point's valid.
Oh yeah, and I see what you're talking about too.
Yeah, I'm just saying in terms of photography, like it kind of is different unless you're literally that nigga. And whenever somebody says shoot for them, they give you all control because the company's not going to give you all control until you have you are a veteran.
Right.
You have proven yourself. You got a few books
Time
out.
and time again, you got tried a lot. Yeah, you had to go through it, earn the stripes. Yeah.
Bro, I gotta step into that veteran category, man. I need to really step my work up. My work is okay. I think I'm a solid. I think I'm a solid C right now. I'm ready to get into that B plus category. I think I'm a solid C, maybe a C plus. I think I have a C plus in me. I'm ready to step it up.
See, I can't really grade it like that. Yeah, I can't grade.
I'm just being honest with myself. Oh,
yeah, I can respect what you said. I can't grade myself by a letter grade on how I think. I mean, I could do it by time.
I'll say I'll respect my grade. I'm not grading myself on a letter grade.
You're grading overall progress.
I guess I should have said I'm grading my potential, where I know I can get. I think that I'm about 70% of that. Actually, that's not true. I think I'm about where I can get. I think I'm like.
I'm thinking Dragon Ball Z because I'm a fucking nerd. So like I'm thinking like compare. We're in the hyperbolic time chamber and we're training. We're training. We've been training for a really long time, but time is moving at a different rate in the time chamber, and it's different. But I feel like I'm at like Super Saiyan 3 right now.
You're Super Saiyan. Where are you trying to get? You trying to go? God Super Saiyan?
I'm a big God.
Okay.
Nigga, I'm Goku in this motherfucker.
I think you're ahead of me for sure in what you do. You didn't put in way more time than I have. I'm still think I'm just starting a little bit.
Fair enough, yeah.
I'm not gonna disrespect that time that you put in. And like I said, I didn't know. I knew you were good. But then when you opened up your shit and I could see it in front of my face, I was like, damn, this nigga is good.
Thanks, yeah. Yeah, it is a different thing. I've seen people do the initial, oh yeah, I'll look at your art. Whoa, I've seen that. And then I've seen the open up. It's a different response when they actually, you got something on you and I pull that book out. Yeah. So it's a different experience for sure. That's what tells me like I gotta get back on my print sale shit and get back on that. Every time I've done a print sale, I've been very successful. I've made a nice chunk of money. Whether it was a limited time frame I was on, and I just don't have the awareness of how many prints I should make, how many, because I got to get some reprints now, and how many more should I make? When's the next time I should set up? And this is something I just need to do a lot more and stop thinking so goddamn much about it. But there's the metaphor of me and Carlton were talking about it. We didn't talk about it on camera.
Who is Carlton?
Carlton, he's one of my best friends. Oh damn, you haven't met him? How do I describe Carlton? Well,
wait, are you about to?
He's a comedian.
Are you about to do anything after this? Or are you on big chill? Are you busy?
I'm probably gonna go to one of my niggas and watch Thor, cause I downloaded it for him.
The cam, or you got HD?
Oh, it's ass. It's terrible. It's terrible, but I'm so curious. I gotta watch this. I gotta watch it.
I might do that too. No, I was gonna tell you cut that hell back on.
Shit, nigga, we got a lot of time on this motherfucker, so we Gucci. Yeah, we got as much time as I got earlier. So, my nigga will be back another time. We'll do some more chopping it up. Yeah, we got a nice chunk of time. Yeah.
I didn't even know we were still talking.
We've been going this whole time. We grabbed the chip bag and all that.
I thought we was done.
I was gonna get on you for the chip bag. I was like, oh, fuck it, we good.
No,
it was so casual.
You could have got on to me for the chip bag.
Yeah,
I thought we was done.
We'll
I checked your phone and it was like,
we'll see how viewers feel about it. Like you might in the comment section when that point hits. Who was that asshole? But nah, we good though. It was all a learning process. This shit was fun.
Damn, you should have got on to me, bro. I'm like a total asshole.
Gucci. I got up in the middle of some shit, but
yeah, but I'm eating, bro.
Right, yeah, I was quiet though. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. But like suggestions are always gonna be appreciated. Any comments always appreciated. For any questions in terms of whatever it is that I choose to show for the drawing that I'm gonna match with this audio. Feel free. I'm always down with the suggestions. Don't mean that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm listening though. So we'll see what's up. Till next time, appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Artist Podcast. We out this hoe.